Ladies and gentlemen, there are a couple stocks that I want to break down today whose charts are looking very good, so let's just dive right into it. We're also going to break down the overall markets in this video and kind of where my head's at right now in the stock market. So if y'all find value, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 17 stocks from MooMoo. All the details are linked down below. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, and with that being said, cheers guys, let's dive into the video. So right off the bat, stock number one is Applied Materials, and actually before we even dive into that, let's take a look at what the markets are doing as in general right now as a whole. We have the Russell down about 0.75%, which the Russell's the only red index right now out of all of them. We have the Nasdaq up 0.6%. We have the S&P up 0.2%, as the Dow is also up about 0.2%, and we have the VIX at pretty much break even. As you guys can see, the VIX right now is right around 19 points, fairly beaten down on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see a couple months ago it was right around 35. That was back in October, and of course from that point it's down a ton. You guys can see here on this 4-hour time frame. So markets are doing pretty decent today overall. Again, we're up across the board except for the Russell. We can see a nice little pop here on SPY on the intraday chart. We actually took the highs out from earlier yesterday, I believe. We took the highs out from the morning yesterday, which is good for the bulls, but we're not yet anywhere near above the highs from the day before yesterday, which I'm losing track of the days, guys. What day was that? Today's Thursday. That was Tuesday. There we go, guys. Tuesday, where we're still under those highs, which were right around 405. And mind you, guys, SPY right now is under $400. Keep that in mind. We're actually on a little bit of a downswing after we had that pop this morning where we hit about 401.50. And keep in mind, also, we're still in a downtrend on the 20-day chart. You guys see that? And on the 4-hour chart, especially if we zoom in a little bit here, you guys can see we're still in a downwards channel. We have been for the past month, right? And you can see the same exact thing here on Triple Q. Even though it's up 0.75%, doing pretty well today, it is still on a downtrend on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see on the 20-day chart as well. It's trying to break out. It's testing the top of the channel right here, downwards channel, but we're not breaking out of it. We're not showing any signs that we're going to do so either. So keep that in mind here on Triple Q. What are we going to do at the highs from earlier this week? That's the million-dollar question. That's right around $305. That's going to be a big resistance, so keep that in mind. And let's take a look quickly at what the metals are doing. Are we getting any bounce back in the metals? Because recently we had silver go down 4%. You guys probably remember that. It got destroyed a couple days ago. Now it's up a little bit, barely. It's pretty much just a dead cat bounce at this point. It's up 0.2%. Nothing worth writing home about. We have gold up about 0.75%. That's better, but still, it looks like a dead cat bounce after this thing got destroyed. Gold went from 1860 down to about 1810 in the span of a day or two. We're talking about 3% in a day or two. That's a big move when it comes to gold. So it is seeing a little bit of a dead cat bounce, but guys, that's all it is based on what I'm seeing now. And of course, we'll do updates. We'll do, we'll come back to this later on, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, and see how it's doing. But right now, the bears are intact, are in charge for sure when it comes to the metals here on gold and silver. And with that being said, guys, and mind you, it's currently about 11:30 a.m. roughly when I'm filming this video, so keep that in mind. Anything can change when you're watching this. It's later in the future, right? Anything could change. But that's kind of my thoughts. Those are my thoughts as of right now. And if I pull up these three stocks that I want to talk about, guys, number one, which you saw a couple minutes ago, is Applied Materials, ticker symbol AMAT, which you guys can see Applied Materials is up 1.6% on the day, so it's outpacing all the indexes today. Very good day so far for Applied Materials. And if I pull the 4-hour chart up, what you're going to notice is we have arguably an ascending triangle, which I believe we clearly have that. And we also have an inverse head and shoulders. You guys probably see that right here. We have the left shoulder. We got the head right here. Then we have the right shoulder. Let me see if I could draw it out to make it a little bit more clear for all you guys watching, which I appreciate all you guys watching as always. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. You guys see that. And essentially what I'm looking at right now is to see if Applied Materials ends up taking out 121 to about $122. You guys can see that's been resistance for a couple of weeks at this point. I'll set my alert now. Mark is at or above $121.50. If that is able to break, which again, that's been resistance for about a month, and we did peak out of it back in the beginning, literally the first day of February, we went to about 125. That didn't last long. So if we're able to break past 121.50 again, we're probably going to go to 125 from that point. Let me actually extend this to the right. That'd be the next gap to fill. And then if we break 125, let me actually set my alert there now. Mark is at or above 125. That's where we're going to get a full-on breakout where the ascending triangle plays out. And we might be going, let's see, what are the all-time highs on this thing? Probably a lot higher than where we are now. Yeah, 167. So if we do break 125, guys, I'm not saying we're going to go straight to 167. That's a little bit unrealistic in the short term at least. But could we start ripping towards the highs from about a year ago being, when was that? April of 2022? Yeah, roughly 140. That's possible. That's in the cards. I mean, that would be the next major resistance here, after 125 on applied materials. So keep your eyes out on that, ticker symbol AMAT. And another one that we have to watch, which is doing pretty well today, is Shopify, ticker symbol SHOP. This is up about 2% right now. And right off the bat, when we're looking at the 4-hour chart, we're noticing an inverse head and shoulders. If you guys take a look here, if we zoom in a little bit, you guys see that left shoulder, we got the head, the right shoulder. And right now on the 4-hour chart, we're right by the 180 SMA, which is a big resistance. You guys can see that's been a resistance for a couple of weeks. And as of now, guys, we are actually getting rejected at that point. We hit $46 earlier in the day, which is right at that moving average on the 4-hour chart, and we got rejected at that point. And you guys can also see, if I draw this trend line out, back in, when was this? The beginning, middle of August, also back in the beginning of December, this stock failed at 45. So not only is it the 180 SMA resistance, it's also resistance from back in August and back in December, back from December. So if Shopify breaks out of 45, 46, this could really start to gain momentum, and it could be off to the races from that point, guys. So I'm going to set my alert. Mark is at or above $46. And again, we break out of there, we have a lot more upside, maybe towards low, mid-50s. That's where it could be going, at least in my opinion, guys. And of course, this is all in my opinion. Don't buy, don't sell, don't do anything based on this video, guys. This is just my opinion. This is not financial advice, so keep that in mind. And before we even dive into the third stock, the last stock for the video, if you guys haven't gotten your free stocks, up to 17 stocks for MooMoo yet, use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/MooMoo to get your free stocks. Once you open up an account with MooMoo, you get one free share of stock right off the bat, and if you deposit at least $100, you get that one free stock. But you also get 4 more free stocks plus 2 free stocks, shares of either AI or BBAI, which is limited time, guys. So if you deposit at least $100, you're getting 7 stocks right off the bat. And get this, if you deposit at least $1,000 onto the MooMoo platform, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 17 stocks in all, if you deposit at least $1,000. So if you guys want some free stocks and you also want to help out the channel, check out the MooMoo link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/MooMoo. Enjoy your free stocks. I appreciate you guys as always. And now let's dive into the last stock for the video, which is on the verge of breaking out like the other two that we just talked about. This is Adobe, ticker symbol ADBE. And I'll say this, it's not as attractive as the other two, which is, I guess, why we're talking about it last. But if it does break out of 355, guys, Adobe could really start to take off, at least in my opinion. You guys can see here, 355 is where my alert's at. Not just because that's a random level I pulled out of my butt. No, guys, no. It's because it is a big resistance stemming back from the beginning of November, pretty much throughout the end of January. You guys can see here for about 2 months, this just kept getting rejected at 355, kept getting rejected, and then ultimately it ripped right through that, ran all the way to 400 where it got pretty overbought, right? Then it sold off. Now we're starting to see buyers coming back in. We're holding higher lows, which is great for the stock. And again, buyers are coming back in. Now all we have to see is, are they going to, break through 355, which we're not getting that quite yet. In fact, if we look on the 5-day chart, we have been failing at 355 pretty much all week. You guys see it here on the 6th of March, 7th, 8th, and 9th, which is today when I'm filming this video. So Adobe's got to get out of that point. If it does break 355, breaks the moving average here, the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, it breaks out of this 20-day downtrend, right? You guys see that? This would be a spot where this could take off, maybe back towards 400. I'm not saying it's going to go to 400 in a day or two, even in a couple of weeks. Who knows? But it could go from 355 towards 365, 370 in the short term. That's definitely in the cards, at least in my opinion. So those are 3 stocks, guys: Shopify, Adobe, and Applied Materials. And those are some thoughts overall on the markets. And with that being said, I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Drop me any stocks you want me to talk about, and I'll cover them in the next video, guys. So drop me some comments down below. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get your free stocks, up to 17 stocks from MooMoo. All the details are down below. You could also get up to 12 stocks from Webull. And if you want to check out my Patreon for my portfolio buys and my Patreon portfolio, if you want to be part of the Discord, you want to see my charts throughout the day, which I'm posting throughout the day, guys, on Patreon. If you want more access to me, all of that is on Patreon down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers. Thanks for watching as always. Stay safe out there. Peace out.